up somehow. I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on. That I will achieve, because I do the things I should, between my brethren kind and good. So I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow.
Oh yes, my Straight Talk family, you hear that theme song and you know it is time for me to say greetings to the entire world, because we are on the World Wide Web and we get in touch with you through social media via our Straight Talk, via our YouTube, I should say, and our Facebook platforms. And many of you share the link, so we get first-timers. And I want to welcome all you first-timers to Straight Talk, which is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, you do have a forum to express yourselves freely. On this program, we try to raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I thank Almighty God for blessing me with the opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And of course, in the process, I must say good night, St. Kitts and Nevis. Good night to the entire Caribbean region. And as I said earlier, good night to the world, because you are in the Kittitian, Andivision, and Caribbean diaspora all across the globe. Some of you are in Asia. There are some of you in Africa. There are many of you in Europe, and a whole lot of you all over North America. So I'm at liberty to say good night. I will say good afternoon, and I'm at liberty as well to say good morning, because one of such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. And for the first timers in particular, as I said, I trust and hope it won't be your last time. And if you're with me for the first time, take a note that Straight Talk comes your way every Monday and Thursday from 8 to 10 in the PM. And for those who are with me all the time, I can reassure you. And those who are just joining me, I continue to pledge, I will pledge, I should say, to remain an untiring advocate of truthfulness. I'm always reminded of the words of a favorite hymn of mine written by Thomas Jackson and Franz Joseph Haydn. And an excerpt goes like this. I love this so much. And I quote it. We are called to be God's prophets, speaking for the truth and right, standing firm for godly justice, bringing evil things to light. So let us seek the courage needed, our high calling to fulfill, that we all may know the blessing of the doing of God's will. And my Straight Talk family, and in particular for our first timers, let me assure you or reassure you, for those who are with me, that absolutely nothing is watered down on this program to make it more interesting, not by omission nor by exaggeration. Straight Talk is not about sensationalism or creating excitement, especially at the expense of accuracy. We are not propagandists because we lean on the facts. And I consider it my bounden duty to present the unvarnished truth. No matter what they say, we present the plain truth, especially when it comes to governance, when it comes to transparency, and of course when it comes to integrity, wherever they all exist in the world. We are strong proponents of good governance, transparency, and of course integrity. And Straight Talk joins us together with people across our federation, with people across the Caribbean. As a matter of fact, this program, or through this program, we are joined with people in the diaspora all around the world. Some of you we have met and we know very well. Others we do not know, and many we will never meet. And I meet people every day, and I'm happy that I can meet our Straight Talk family as I move around from day to day. And some will agree. Some will agree with the points or the positions of truth advanced on Straight Talk each program. And some will disagree, and that's fine. Like I always say, we promote diversity. A diversity of views is what we welcome. But what will sadden me, my Straight Talk family, is if we ever start to become disagreeable. No. Let's respect each other. We may respect the views, but may not accept them. Let's respect them. And let us thank Almighty God in the process for helping us to understand, oh, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Let us therefore hope and pray for the day when we will all sing his praise together. So welcome again, my people, and thanks for those who share the link. As I said, you bring first timers, so please continue to do so. And for the first timers, I must also inform you that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean we include your calls and your emails. And if you're so minded calling, the numbers are on your monitors, on your screens. For those who like the cloak of anonymity, I call it, you also have access. We give you access via our email platform. And that address is also on your monitor, on your screen. There are those who have the Alexa app as well. We're heard live via that application. Just say, Alexa, play Massive Vibes Radio, and you'll be on. And I thank that owner of that platform for continuing to give us access That's a nominal cost. We're happy for that. Many of you join me via that app as well. And there are some of you who have made donations to support our efforts here on Straight Talk. And I am duty bound to say a big thank you to all of you. I must also reassure you that no matter how small your contribution is, we don't stipulate an amount. Whatever you're minded to give, we are thankful, because it helps us to continue these important discussions that many would like to close down. And that won't happen, because God is in the midst of all our discussions, believe it or not. But your contribution helps us to defray our cost, to maintain our commitment as well to public service. Because that's what it is, public service. Nothing else but public service. So others who wish to donate can simply scan the code on your screen there on your monitors, and you'll access the payment form. It's a very simple process, my Straight Talk family. And no donation is too small for us to accept. So thank you again for your support and for helping us to keep the dialogue alive. Thank you. May not be adequate in terms of words to say how we appreciate your support. And we must say a special welcome to our young brigade, young Neymar and Soraya, young Dwayne, Tristan, Shamar, Kevin, Rue, Jamal, Travis, and Chavon, all part of a young brigade. And those who meet me, some of you, I forget your names, and just next time you see me, and if you feel okay, if your mom, your dad feel okay, for you to get a hail up, just tell me, and I'll do that. And we usually begin with our observations in review, my Straight Talk family. And that's an integral part to Straight Talk. Our observations in review is an integral part to Straight Talk. Forgive me for that, my Straight Talk family. Doing some homework here. And following our observations in review, we'll move into our thesis. Following our thesis, we then will include your calls and emails as mentioned earlier, as we allow your full participation. And yes, you get an opportunity to have your say, my Straight Talk family. That's what this program is all about. You get an opportunity, as I said, to have your say. And observation review is a point in the program when we highlight the current issues and do some reflection. We may then ask a few questions. What was accomplished? How it has helped others? What has changed since? And what can be expected next? And what new we have learned as a people? And after our observations and review, we will begin our thesis for tonight, which I have titled, All Mouth and No Trousers. So please, therefore, don't change the link. Don't change the platform. Just spread the word, my Straight Talk family, that Straight Talk is live on your social media. So tell the world that they can just join us. And those, my Straight Talk family, I found myself in a state of ambivalence tonight, that today was the start of our budget presentation, and I thought I would spend the program dealing with the budget, although we do have some outstanding observations as it relates to the desalination plant and the lack of information being provided, issues of renewable energy, and the construction of the Basti High School. They have moved now from being on the way to 2025. And believe me, my Stray Dog family, you know it's time to start preparing for the next elections. I know that the so-called engineer has opened his office. And one thing that has come to mind, or that we have observed, I should say, is that how many of you have observed that Terence Michael July and his cabinet have not presented a conference for a long, long time, several months now. The last one was postponed. How many of you have observed that senior minister and former prime minister had his own press conference? Then Samuel Duggins, the minister with responsibility for agriculture and others, he too had his minister's press conference. And you understand as well that the so-called engineer, Congress Maynard, he too had a press conference last week, Thursday. But it tends to suggest to us, my Stray Dog family, that all is not well. And we ask ourselves and ask Prime Minister July, why isn't there, or has not been a monthly press conference for so many months, but he has his own round table as well. So does this demonstrate that all is well within the July Labour Party? Those are questions we have to ask. But this is one of the observations we are following, and we will keep you posted on that situation as well as it pertains to the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. My Stray Dog family, those are my observations for tonight, because I want to move into our thesis title, which is titled All Mouth and No Trousers. And I must make mention of the fact that I listened to the budget address in Parliament today, and after several hours of political diatribe from the Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign, or Minister of Finance, that should be, beg your pardon, I concluded, just like many of you who called me, that Terence Michael July does not understand that the budget serves several key purposes, all of which are essential to the functioning of a democratic government. May I repeat that? Terence Michael July, after presenting his third budget address, clearly does not understand that the budget serves several key purposes, all of which are essential to the functioning of a democratic government. Terence Michael July surely does not understand that the budget session is a critical period during which the government is expected to present its fiscal plans for the coming year. after which the Parliament reviews such plans, debates them, and approves the plans in the form of an appropriation warrant or a bill. But my straight talk family, it was frustrating. This long-winded, empty address that was laced with politics, and at the end, the common reaction from all was that it seemed more like a budget scam than a legitimate budget presentation. The presentation dragged on for hours, and I haven't even recorded the length, but it dragged on for hours without clear, actionable, or transparent information easily left listeners, I should say, feeling disillusion. When complex documents like budgets are presented in a way that is convoluted or lacks specificity, it only creates a sense of distrust or confusion, my straight dog family. And this is what happens. The distrust in this budget lies in the presentation or the make-believe that people are getting more in their pockets. And I saw this, my straight dog family, displayed by the Labour Party. People are getting more in their pockets, and they continue to drive the car in what I call the rearview mirror as they look back and talking about the increase, if you can glean from the content on your screen. 8% increase they talk about. They talk about increasing minimum wage. And the list goes on, if you can look at it yourselves, my straight dog family. They talk about the minimum wage increase, the pension payment. But my straight dog family, there's one notable omission, and I call it a scam. What a scam to exclude the 34% increase that this July Labour administration and his cabinet approved unto themselves. Is it listed there, my straight dog family? Hell no. So what this should really read: easing financial burden more in our pockets, meaning the members of cabinet. They are so dishonest. My straight dog family, that's what we talk about, the distrust. Long speeches like the one today, filled with generalizations without breakdowns or justifications, make it hard for people to understand. Many have not understood after listening this long-winded budget address, have not understood the rationale, beg your pardon, behind the decisions made, my straight dog family. What is the rationale behind the decision made for what they call a VAT relief holiday? The cost of living is rising every day, my straight dog family. Every day. And this other scam to try to bribe some people. And they call it a VAT relief holiday for 6 months, my straight dog family. 6 months. Reducing the VAT from 17%, we are told, to 13% from January to June. So why on earth, my straight dog family, why on earth doesn't July reduce the VAT? Period. Not for 6 months. Reduce the VAT from 13% to 17%. When I was part of the team unity administration, that is something we discussed. And the VAT may have been reduced by now to 10%. That would impact the cost of living, my straight dog family. So what is the rationale, we ask, behind a decision like this? Quote unquote, a VAT relief holiday for 6 months. 4% for 6 months, my straight dog family. There was also what I call, my straight dog family, a lack of connection to real life impact. A lack of connection to real life impact. Because the budget does not reflect the needs or priorities of the country and its people, as it feels disconnected from the tangible outcomes and came across as being disingenuous, my straight dog family. How, for example, can you take away $500 from poor people and give them $250 back? What sort of mathematics is that, my straight dog family? Scam mathematics, or a mathematical scam. Because you are saying you're going to boost my wallet, money in my wallet. As you said, a budget boost wallet, or wallet you call it, however you pronounce that. But you have taken away the PAP for $500, my straight dog family. And you come back now in the last shower of rain with the pressure on the government and everybody saying that government needs to go. Even your own people saying the government needs to go. So you come back with some Nancy story here, boosting some wallets and having taken away our $500 from the PAP. You come full circle to provide us with $250 for 6 months, my straight dog family. 6 months from January to June. What is going on with this disconnected cabinet? What a big budget scam on poor people, my straight dog family. With revenue projected to decline in 2025, my straight dog family. Revenue projected to decline in 2025. We are in trouble. We are in trouble, my straight dog family. Because as you can glean from your screens, this is an excerpt from the budget that will be debated over the next few days. I saw the snake from Mark Brantley throwing wood, as we say in colloquial parlance, and talking about the debt. And yes, the snake is correct. The debt has increased here, but so too in Nevis. In Nevis, the debt is almost $1 billion. Here in St. Kitts, our debt is heading to $2 billion in debt. $2 billion. You heard recently the Prime Minister, Dr. July, speak to an $800 million loan from the U.S. Exim Bank, Export-Import Bank. And remember, my Stray Dog family, but look at the estimates, my Stray Dog family. The actuals for 2023, beg your pardon. And we expected that some $620 million under the main revenue earner, the citizenship by investment. If you go the fourth line item from the bottom, and you can glean from the numbers as well, my Stray Dog family, that for 2025, they have estimated some $495 million from the beg your pardon, from the citizenship by investment fees. That should be, my Stray Dog family. So they have decreased by some $45 million. You can see that decrease on your screens. But remember, my Stray Dog family, remember, and even before I go there, the actual revenue, our total estimated revenue, the CBI still accounts for well over 40% of the revenue. But remember, I was going to say, my Stray Dog family, when July said this about the CBI just about a month ago. He said this, my Stray Dog family.
In 2019, CBI generated EC $443 million for the federal government. In 2020, it generated EC $271 million. In 2021, EC $543 million. In 2022, EC $669 million. In 2023, EC $620 million. In 2024 up to September, CBI has generated EC $280 million, less revenue to date compared to previous years.
And that, my Stray Dog family, leads us to the point where there is a budget deficit, $238 million in deficit for 2024. And you know, July is always talking about deficit. And he's got what he asked for because of his malmanagement, his poor management of our country. That has translated into a $238 million deficit for 2024. And it is projected to have a further deficit for 2025. And nothing, my Stray Dog family, nothing in his address, his long-winded budget address, told us about his wonderful plans for diversification despite the reduction in CBI revenue. Terence Michael July's presentation today provided a typical example of politics where the idiom, the emperor has no clothes, would apply. Another example of the naked emperor is simply to look at Terence Michael July's 2 years in office and leave it at that. Just look back at his 2 years and more in office, I should add. And it leads us to an old saying. And a considerable number of people feel like this about Prime Minister July. And the saying goes, all mouth and no trousers. The emperor, in this case, retains his jacket and his shirt. That's all the emperor is wearing. No double salary, no dividend, nothing but an empty budget. And it's easy to blame or easy to lay the blame squarely on the shoulders of those responsible. It is quite easy to lay the blame where it belongs. And the ordinary man in the street knows where the blame belongs. And the ordinary man would say things that are accurate, like this, my Straight Talk family.
Watch here, somebody send me your number there. Here, cause people, you think people want to hear about well and people. We want to hear about the money, but we want to hear about this and that thing about that. We want to go down for your Christmas. If you go buy ham and turkey and poo, ornament and we tree. Anybody care about well? What well you come tell us about? You don't care of people salt water. Bun people are you. Very disrespectful. Never is the problem. Watch here, somebody send me your number there. Here, cause people, you think people want to hear about well and people. We want to hear about the money, but we want to hear about this and that thing about that. We want to go down for your Christmas. If you go buy ham and turkey and poo, ornament and we tree. Anybody care about well? What well you come tell us about? You don't care of people salt water. Bun people are you. Very disrespectful. Never is the problem.
And that's the view of everyone. Labor is the problem. It's not difficult to lay the blame where it belongs. Yes, they gave us salt water, and the people in Cairn are still complaining. The salt water is burning their eyes. It has a certain stench at certain times. And now, East Bastille, look out. They are going to give us water that I am afraid, I am scared that it may poison us. Because they're getting water using the reverse osmosis solution. Water from the sea that is mixed with oil, fuel oil. That desalination plant is right next, it's sandwiched by two fuel oil installations, Sol and Delta. I brought that to your attention before, my Straight Talk family. And I won't stop until they give us the assurance that this water would not be impacted by the fuel oil, the oil that is stored in those tanks and that are pumped ashore from the vessels using a hose underwater. And they do have leaks. We have had leaks here before. We've had oil spills. So why are they not giving us the assurance that we will be okay? Nothing is being said to us. And I speak for the people in East Bastille. You call me every day and remind me, and I would not stop. The Prime Minister is like the emperor without clothes. And his lies continue to expose him, especially in the latest CBI scam, when he told us, my Straight Talk family, about the extortion attempt in his office. You remember he told us this, my Straight Talk family.
Subsequently, one of the persons in the videos that he have, and I want you to listen to this, approached the government. And one of the things that was said to me and to the government was if we wanted this to go away, we need to pay 40 to 100 million US dollars in my office. How can a man enter my office saying to me that I have to take 40 to 100 million dollars out of the government's treasury to settle this case that a fraudster has brought forward? who should not have been in the first place.
Imagine that, my Street Dog family. Imagine that. What is coming to be proven as a lie? The man who he said was in the picture or the video, who came into his office, came and rebutted the accusation by the Prime Minister. He said this, my Street Dog family.
The people who are listening would know that the government of St. Kitts are not the only individuals that I've spoken to.
Yeah.
And I was very surprised and very dismayed when I heard when the Prime Minister of St. Kitts made a statement in a press conference and said that an individual who was in one of the photos in the podcast I went up before,
which is you,
came into his office and demanded from them that they would, in order for this to go away, that they must pay $40 to $100 million. And the content of the presentation was erroneous. In no way, form, or fashion did that conversation take place in a manner that the Prime Minister presented it. Yeah. But I enlightened the people for them so they know how it really went.
And
Let's just talk family. Everybody. Everyone. Is calling out the Prime Minister, Terence Michael Drew, for his lies. Straight Talk said before on this very platform that extortion is a crime. And we also asked Prime Minister Dr. July and his Attorney General, Garth Lucifer Wilkin, why didn't they arrest the man in the video? We learned is some Mr. Benter, a former police chief in the U.S. Virgin Islands, my Straight Dog family. We asked why didn't he arrest the man in the video, as he called it, who has in fact come forward, my Straight Dog family. Mr. Benter has come forward and said this in response to Prime Minister Terence Michael July.
Extortion is a crime, period.
yeah, of course.
But for the application through what is being insinuated, and to date, so you know, I've reached out to the Attorney General's office for them to prepare the arrest documents, and I advise that I will make myself present for those charges as they have so deemed within what they allege. I'm ready to face the music and let them bring what they have and say that this is what happened. But I'm very disappointed.
Very disappointed, yeah.
And we only have in this podcast, Mr. Felipe, so people know, because the Prime Minister of the country made an allegation towards what the meeting premises were, totally out of character and out of context.
What a lie, my Straight Dog family. According to the man who was accused to be in the video. But what about the Attorney General, Garth Lucifer Wilkin? And someone asks, Garth Wilkin again? Garth is familiar with scams. He scammed for months the Social Security Board. He exchanged a WhatsApp message with a fellow lawyer and former minister, Gada, and he referred to a good scam. But my Straight Dog family, we asked the question, what did Attorney General Garth Lucifer Wilkin ask? Is this another scam, Lucifer Wilkin?
So that we were clear for those that are listening, this conversation is pretty much surrounding what the government of St. Kitts and Nevis came public and mentioned. Besides, but I think more so that the Prime Minister and his Attorney General where the number discussion actually was preempted by the Attorney General of St. Kitts and Nevis, Gaff Wilkins.
That's interesting.
Gaff Wilkins, while speaking to the Prime Minister and other matters, Gaff Wilkins in the meeting started on more than one occasion prompting and asking, based on what's been filed in the courts by MSR and within the U.S. Department of Justice, America-wise, what is the ask? My response to him what is the ask? And I said to him, enumeration as far as what he was trying to explain, I said, based on what I have read, more so, this is what it may be in a litigation of any sort. What's the fix? What would be? It would be this.
Yeah.
And with that, the Prime Minister himself began to invoke in his own mind what he wanted to input, forgetting about that the purpose of me being there was to bring the government of St. Kitts and Nevis together with the representative of MSR who was waiting somewhere else for a call for them.
At the lawyer office.
My Straight Talk family, serious allegations involving our Attorney General, Garth Lucifer Wilkin. How do you explain, how do you interpret the question, what is the ask? And a matter of fact, the government of St. Kitts Nevis was not included in the RICO case. And that has been subsequently withdrawn by the fraudster. But how do you interpret what was the ask? Is this another scam, my Straight Dog family? What about the Prime Minister's behavior? Is it in conformity with good diplomacy? Should he have asked Denzel Douglas, his foreign minister, how did he get around these issues? But my Straight Dog family, the behavior of Terence Michael July and his chief legal advisor, Garth Lucifer Wilkin, is unbecoming of anyone who holds such high offices. My Straight Dog family.
Were you disappointed when you saw the press conference of the Prime Minister that he would come up with such a story?
I really was, as there is, as it's been explained in a lot of missions, conversations are held in confidence and in trust.
Yeah.
And with this is one of those things where I have never seen a behavior like this before in sitting in many other meetings. And this one for sure really surprised me because I really love the what I've seen before with the podcast you guys have done, with the work that has been done there, and saw the real unknowing being an issue of what China purpose really was through the program. And in it bringing to education, which was pretty much what my role was.
Yeah.
And my Straight Dog family, a lot of emphasis, I must add, has been placed on China. And there's no attempt to disclose where the 50,000 or more economic citizens come from. And my Straight Dog family, I did some research myself. And I found out that between 2005 and 2015, the nationality disposition from 2005 to 2015 were about 12% Russians, or 15% to 20% Russians, I should say, and the rest came from the Middle East, including areas like Lebanon, Syria for a moment, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait, my Straight Talk family. And the Chinese are in the last big project accounted for either 30 or 35% of the numbers. But that is for another occasion, my Straight Talk family. The scam that is our focus tonight is the budget presentation. Because, my Straight Talk family, a lot was said during the presentation, but there was little practical or actionable content. The promises made were not backed up by real plans or concrete steps. It was heavily or essentially heavy on rhetoric, but light on the reality, on meaningful details or implementation of these plans. It was all talk and no action, my Straight Talk family. And my Straight Talk family, as the British would say, it was all mouth and no trousers. But as we embark on the next couple of days, when the debates will continue, for the next 3 or 4 days, no doubt, don't expect nothing from the leader of the opposition. Don't expect nothing from those on the opposition benches. Anticipate the fluff. Everything would be 2025. Basti High School will come in 2025. New hospital, 2025. And it will go on. No longer would you hear the on the way. Because nothing has been done by this administration in going on to 3 years. We have never seen that. That poor performance by any administration since universal adult suffrage, my Straight Talk family. But you may have your say as well. The scam, as I said, that is our focus tonight, is the budget presentation. Nothing practical or actionable. Just rhetoric, my Straight Talk family. Heavy on rhetoric. Light on reality. No meaningful details. All talk and no action. And as the British would say, again, all mouth and no trousers. And that's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family. And I am not going to change it. I'm going to ensure that I give you some more time tonight so you can as well make or have your say as it relates to what we're hearing and what's going on in our country. Things are bad. We'll have a poor Christmas. And my Straight Talk family, I'm going to open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. When I do so, and I'll do so in a few seconds, I anticipate that you will respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourself. Let us try to be fair to all concerned, and let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let's ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And at 8:55, at 9 or 5 before the 8 o'clock, the 9 o'clock hour, beg your pardon. I go to the lines and say good night to our first caller. Call you live.
Good night, Mr. Liburd. The quotation for this evening. The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterward speaks according to his action. I repeat, the superior man.
Superior man. Okay.
Yeah, the superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speak according to his action.
And afterwards,
you get
according to his actions.
The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speaks according to his action. Have a great evening.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening as well, my straight up family. Always really look forward to your quotation. The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speaks according to his actions. That's loaded, don't you find? Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Hey, good night.
My dear brother, good night.
Hello, how are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
Well, I was looking to the house last time but I had to shut it down.
Most people did, quite frankly. Most people did. Don't feel alone.
I had to shut down that, do you hear me?
Yes, it was terrible.
Because that one no make no sense. Now, pardon? Here what you going to read here right now. Proverbs chapter 27. Yes, sorry. Proverbs chapter 3. Verse 27. Here is a here passage. Let me talk. It says, withhold good from them to whom it is due. When it is in your power of thine hand to do it. Mr. Patel, this is Proverbs chapter 3, you hear me?
Yep.
You hear what I said?
I'm listening to
everybody is supposed to really read the whole passage of scripture and hear what it says. But I am telling you something tonight, Mr. Patrick. People must understand when you're in power, God put you there. You know, you put yourself there, God put you there.
True.
And when God tell you, Mr. Patel, withhold, you know what it in them? If they don't work hard, they will by your crap, Mr. Patel. And now you got to hold the thing them from them. And who make you, man? Who make you? Remember the God in high heaven watching you. And one of these days, Mr. Patel, you have to give God an account later now. Patel, why would I get really outrageous? I know I take up a lot of time. But people must understand the God over us. He sent the rain and the just and the unjust. And a day is coming, Mr. Patel, when every jack man gonna sit down on the bum to give God an account. But I am thanking God tonight that I am a born again believer, and I trust and hope everyone that hear my voice tonight will do such, because A day is coming.
Yes.
The reckoning time is coming. And so, I ain't going no further than there. That is good night.
Good night, my dear brother. The Bible man, we always welcome what I call your biblical interventions that brings a certain level of understanding and tranquility and peace to the program. And I can tell you, many look forward to it, except the Bible man. I can tell you that they asked me to ask you, just don't shout too much. I know you get emotional, but we look forward each time for your intervention, in your biblical intervention. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
A pleasant good evening.
Good evening. That voice sounds familiar.
Yes, most sounds familiar.
Yes.
I always hear.
The dimples. I can see the dimples, yes.
Oh, my Savior.
How about that?
I want to ask you a question. They must have a house of assembly in the country. They must do that.
Yes, it is a requirement. Yes, it is a requirement. Especially now, you have a requirement. Yes, you have to. You must get approval to spend the people's money, your money and my money. So you have to what is called the appropriate the funding, pass an appropriation bill to get the authority to spend money. The parliament must approve that. Yes.
Okay. I understand. I would like to know if they can find a place to put them wild goat, crazy people and an apache and keep them out the house. Because I really do not know what they're going in the house for. I was listening today, just a little piece, because I cannot take them on.
It's difficult.
And what I heard, I really want to know if them people could read or they're sensible, because they ain't sound so at all. That crazy man there, he need to take his medication before he goes to the house. If he take one tablet home, walk with the other one that increase craziness chipping. While he in the house, he go to the bathroom and take the because I see nothing but pure crazy talk in that place. And you notice how fast he talk? He talk fast, just like how he signed the passport them. It's so he talk. He don't have no card in there. He ain't ready yet. He's not a sensible man. He believes that he could read and he could do this, but he ain't ready yet. I would like to ask him. He said, I don't know if you remember, that while we were sleeping, the investors them was out there calling him to come in.
Yes.
But now that we wake up, where are the investors them? Are them free us? Because me ain't see none, and me hear nobody say nothing about none. Remember, he said when we were sleeping, they was calling him to come in because he never want to come in under him, only under him.
Yes.
And now that we wake up, we ain't here, none of them at all, so want to know where they gone. Could he please tell us where the investors them gone, where was signing up underneath of him? Please tell us that. Sorry, Copad. At least I thought if I get back in, you hear me? You have a pleasant day.
I was driving in your area yesterday. And as you talk about the mental issue, probably there's a mental health.
But your boy, and you just said your boy me.
So
Yeah.
you should probably pass them before you get into the house.
That's the one he could walk with the tablet them too. He could walk with them. He could take one home and then walk with another one in case he chip out.
Okay, gotcha.
He take it in, they go in the bathroom and take it. Yeah.
Okay.
But he talking about 2025. Everything was on the way. And all of a sudden now,
Everything in 2025.
2025, he's sure that he is going to be around for 2024 because the way how we talk, he thinks well definitely if he got his own life that he had. So that's how he talking.
Frank.
Lord, he must not treat us so. He tells everybody in a think it's stupid. He got sensible people in a think it's too. So come on, psychopath, Dr. Pepper.
Okay, my dear.
That is, I will be back.
Thank you very much. It is a thank you very much, my dear. It is a fact that he told us this about the investors, and just in the event you never heard it. This is what Dr. July said about the investors. Wait a while, my dear.
Wanted to work with an administration that they think would be a more
Did
prudent
they give reasons for that?
Yeah, I think that they felt like they were under duress in certain circumstances, to be frank. And they think that there might have been too much corruption in the system. And many of them stayed away as a result of that. But now a number of them have come forward.
Forgive me for that my straight talk family. I don't think the sound, we had the sound, but this is what he actually said to us in August or early September.
They wanted to work with an administration that they think would be a more prudent administration.
Did they give reasons for that?
Yeah, I think that they felt like they were under duress in certain circumstances, to be frank. And they think that there might have been too much corruption in the system. And many of them stayed away as a result of that. But now a number of them have come forward.
Okay, my bad. I'll get that entire soundbite for you, but let's go back to the lines in the meanwhile and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Hi, Patrice. How are you?
I am peaceful.
Hi, Patrice. How are you?
I am peaceful. What about yourself?
I'm good. I'm coming down, so I'm going to bring my donation with me.
Okay, thank you in advance, my dear.
Yeah.
Get to see you as well.
I was listening to the House Assembly today, and it irritated me a lot. I had to shut it off.
Oh yes, it is.
Give me a headache.
It's frustrating, It's really frustrating. I mean,
yeah, it's true. It is true. He speak about the houses, the 20 house that he put in down in that place, and the 20 what he put in down in Sandy Point. He believe he bright. He picked those two areas because they know that they're strong. The Sandy Point is strong in Sean Way, and 7 is strong in Timothy Way. That's what he tried to do. And he said that the reason why when they had built the first the sample, people complain and say the bedrooms are too small or what's not. So they had to go back to the drawing board and it takes 6 months. But then he started to believe, how did he? I don't know. Did he say how much this house going to cost? Because they're bigger now. Are they going to be the same price?
Well, you never believe. The prices have already changed because someone showed me. I did post a letter on the screen sometime earlier where someone had to pay extra because the topography of the land, where the land is situated, you had to pay an extra cost, So.
Yeah, but the bedrooms, the rooms are getting bigger now. So then are the price going to be the same? Or whatever. He did not say it. He turned on talking about the smart hospital. Up to now, he did not say how many beds this hospital going to carry.
Up to now, you're right.
Up to now, he ain't say, well, we building a hospital and he carrying 600 beds or 400 beds or whatever. He ain't said that and he keep running his mouth. He talk every time he talk about development bank and social security. He talk about how Obama bail out the something industry or whatever. All them kind of things here. And then he starts about, excuse me, coming to talking fast. But when he talking fast, that you cannot understand. Because he telling his lies. And when he talk fast, he rub his nose. So that's how he is. I really don't understand. People must open their eyes. Jew ain't not a Jew donor. Jew just have to go and take a seat back. We have to get rid of them.
Yes.
So,
total agreement.
Okay then, later.
Okay. Thanks a lot for your intervention. And this is a soundbite I really wanted to play about the investors. Forgive me for this. Caller?
It's quite interesting that after the elections, a number of investors came forward. And they said, Dr. Joe, we had been waiting to invest in St. Kitts and Nevis. And they said, why you didn't do it then? And they said they couldn't do it under the last administration. So we are looking at that, so they will have more, foreign investment that would help to stir the economy.
And that was his comment about the investor. But let's go back to the lines, because we are still waiting on the investors going on to 3 years. We heard about the Indigo Hotel. The ground was broken. You're now hearing about some other hotel. What the hell is going on? Caller, I want to thank you for holding you alive.
Yeah, that's okay. Good evening, Mr. Concern.
How are you doing, my brother?
I am great. I still have the willpower and the determination not to bow down. Thank God for Ian Patty's Liburd and your great concern for this country. And before I go too far, whenever you get a chance, take a pass by us for our contribution to this program. Because if I got to sell the house and contribute the money to you, we will do it.
Thank you. You don't need so much money. The house must be how much? About $500,000 US? No, we don't need so much.
No money, the trash house.
But thank you in advance.
Yeah, good night, brother Straight Talk, and my sister here from Atlanta, New York, and Maisie and Alice and all who listen in this wonderful program. A lot of people do not like to hear it because it is truth on this program. Now, he think he fooling animals when he come talking about the budget. Here the kind of money what he talking about for what? 2025. When the man got the main source of economy that coming here to this country, which is CBI, he got it right on the edge of the cliff to jump over. Yep. He think he fooling. Look, if you as a farmer, you carry a bunch of you flock of sheep down a road, and some wolf run after them. Tomorrow you can't fool them and go down there. They're going somewhere else. This man took $500 from the people who are in need of it and cut it down to 2.5, and then he come talking about he's chopping it down while he was arguing in the cockfight today. I don't listen to him because he does irritate me, and I can't call in and pencil him. Look what this man got his country here, mash up. All your clock in here, he come talking about this is on its way, that on its way. And then the first thing he said, investors waiting till the farmer administration go to come in. Where are they? What you gonna know in 2025? Michael Joe, stop telling lies. Stop it. Because lie gonna mash up people. But listen to this. Where the hell $8 million gone? Not where grandchildren then was born. Where the hell $8 million gone? Only the vagabond know where that they are gone. Where the hell $8 million gone? Gone into Dubai on Barabbas bank account. If that direction ain't so, Barabbas, we want to know. Actually, I'll come back.
Okay, my brother. Thanks a lot for your contribution. Let's go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding caller you live. Hello,
Mr.
caller.
Straight Talk.
How are you? Philadelphia?
I'm okay so far, so good, my brother from another mother. How are you?
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra. Abracadabra, my brother. Abracadabra. Mr. Straight Talk, are we going to have to get Tunka back?
Tunka?
Because this year not work.
Okay.
He's not working.
The magician, right?
The magician is not working, so something not going good.
I got you.
Because my brother going on the bus and he said some time ago somebody they start saying all this kind of thing, and this guy come now and I say, look, me no vote for them now, me no vote for them. Anyway, let me just say greetings to my people before I say what I have to say. So good night, my brother Alvin there in Bellevue and his son George Reed, and my brother Culture, man, you're doing good. And my wonderful niece in St. Louis, how are you doing? And Texas Queen, it's good. And good night to the garage boys there in off Boston Road. My friend Albertus one, brother garage. I'm coming to see you guys soon. So, Mr. Straight Talk, I listened to what I said yesterday morning because I don't listen to the news at night, and it says that they're going and build houses in Atlas and Sandy Point. That lady just wake me out my bed. But Dr. Pepperseed, Dr. Julie Pepperseed said that they're going and build so much and so much. I don't remember how much 100 house. But no, he said that they're going and build 20. So it's only 20, maybe it's only 40 house they're building for next year then. Understand? We were supposed to get so much and so much hundreds of house for year.
600 per year, yes, 600 per year.
So no, if they're going to build, because that's all they're saying, then the Black Wolf, the deputy, says that they build more house in the first something, but he said that they build more house than what Unity build in 1 year. They build 112 houses. That's what I think I hear him says yesterday. I could be wrong, but he says that they build. So Mr. Shizak, how much houses Dr. Julie Pepperseed government build since they take office?
Well, they claim they build these houses, but we have only seen 2, right? So I don't know where the others are. It's quite frankly.
Mr. Straight Talk, it was on ZIZ News.
Yes, I don't doubt you. They say quite a lot of things, but you can't verify them, you know?
So why the people don't say something? You mean that man, Mr. Black Wolf, go up there and you say, well, we build over the last so and so. I wasn't paying it no mind because I was back and forth eating my breakfast. But that's what he said. So I said, look, there's only one person I can ask about these houses. It's you. Understand? You live St. Kitts. How much houses did they build? And it's there.
They promised to build.
It's in the news, so you got to find that thing and bring it. Let people hear it.
No.
Because he says that they actually build more houses than Unity because they build 100 and something houses since they come into office.
What I will bring to the people is that they're guaranteed a $650 million loan to construct 2,400 houses in 4 years at 600 houses per year by a company called East Coast Housing Development. And as far as the record would show, East Coast Housing Development has only built 2 houses. They're going now to build 20, they say. 20 in Atlas and 20 some places in Sandy Point. Right? So don't...
They said they already cleared the land. They already cleared the land.
Don't worry that. Don't buy that nonsense. But thanks a lot for your intervention as usual.
Mr. Jedak, just do what you got to do, yeah, man. You're doing a wonderful job. I thank you so much. I thank you for hearing me, my brother. Just do what you're doing. I'll see you when I see you.
Yes.
Be good. Take care of yourself. And I'll see you soon.
Yes.
Abracadabra. I'm out.
Yes, my brother. Take care of yourself as well. And this email reads, let's we forget the emails. Dear Patches, I'd like to speak directly to the people listening. The recent VAT reduction from 17% to 13% has been presented as a win. But let's break it down. For most of us, food prices remain unchanged, and that's because there's already no VAT on essential food items like rice, bread, milk, and eggs. These are the very things families rely on. And this reduction doesn't affect them at all. The truth is, this VAT reduction benefits luxury items, my Straight Talk family. This VAT reduction primarily benefits luxury items, electronics, high-end clothing, and expensive appliances. It's the wealthy and big businesses who will benefit, not the average person struggling to feed their family. Dr. Drew is once again trying to fool us with his guile, making it seem like he's offering relief, when in fact he's handing out a gift to the rich. For those of us trying to make ends meet, this move does nothing to help with the rising cost of living. We need real relief, low food prices, higher wages, and support for those who are truly struggling. This VAT reduction is a smokescreen, a diversion to make it look like the government is doing something, when the reality is it's a win for the wealthy and a loss for the rest of us. Reads this email. Yes, my Straight Dog family, another scam as we call it, a budget scam. Let's go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Good night, Brother Patches.
Good night, my dear brother. Good to hear your voice.
Well, Brother Patches, let me just confess. I haven't been heard for the past 3 weeks. My life was actually in danger. I suffered an ambush attack, which created a great, how shall I say, contusion in my head. I didn't stand a fighting chance or anything. I never anticipated. So I spent from Thanksgiving Day until the 10th of December discharge. I'm not out the woods yet, but great improvement. And I must say thanks to Jacobi Hospital and all the doctors who make that work for me. So I am alive and well, progressing, moving forward. It was a great trauma. But moving forward,
good to hear you have recovered. Good to hear that you have recovered. You know, okay.
Yes, thanks. I still have my sense of humor.
Okay, important there.
Anyway, moving forward, I didn't listen to the budget today. I was just discharged, so I had some important situation to deal with. But when I came home, I was prepared to listen Straight Talk, but I fell asleep. And in my sleep, I had a dream. And the dream was Dr. Drew is balling. I don't know how that come. And I woke up and I was in the midst. Your show was already midway. So I didn't hear your thesis. But based on what was commented on from the great contributors to the show, I can ask a question. And I must cite a verse from the Bible man always said. But before I do that, in the budget, was there anything that could have considered the poor? Because the poor is not asking for much. They are asking for basic, and they can bill on the basic in advance. Now, the Bible man usually cite, blessed is the man who considereth the poor. And in days of trouble, God will deliver you. Was there anything in the budget as such? Because the poor need. The poor is needy, not wanting, needy. And that's a question in itself. And then I'll move forward. I'm not going to take up too much. Was there anything in this budget that considered the poor? To your observation.
Well, well, as that emailer wrote and hit the nail right on the head, there was a song and dance about a VAT relief holiday for 6 months next year, meaning the reduction of VAT from 17% to 13%. But the poor, as you referred to, the biggest bother, like here in St. Kitts and all over the world, is the rising food costs or food prices. And we don't pay VAT on food, so that won't affect the poor man.
Listen, St. Kitts people are said to be stupid, but not all. I am proud to be a Kittitian, and I don't entertain stupidity, archaeology, and idiocracy, and foolish stuff. Now, we and all the other independent candidates for the next upcoming election got to focus on the need of our people. We cannot look back and said, you promise, and all those who made promise, and then turn around, that promise become comfort for fools. Now we are in probably 2.5 years moving forward, contemplating a term, hopefully a term, perhaps it might not be a term, for the Labour administration. And they have future plans moving forward from beyond 2025. Now, if St. Kitts people do not wake up in this midterm, well, I will say like Dougie, me ask ya. Okay? I like that line. Now, as I stated before, I will reaffirm. I will be a candidate for number 8 because number 8 is the weakest link and number 8 is supposed to be the head. And I don't challenge little potatoes. I challenge the head. Okay. And that's what everyone has to look towards. But you go wherever you feel you are strong and you can do the job. People of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, I will state my name again is Winston Welcome. I am in the diaspora, but I'm with you. And sometimes I don't have to be seen every day. And that is for a reason for me. I don't want to be a part of the corruption and the misfits. The misfits. A fit that is there, but it cannot fit. It cannot have a place in any way, shape, or form. Okay? I am asking you all to vote for me. I will do the due diligence that needy for all the people. Whether you vote against me or not, give me a chance. All I can do is beg. I'm not going to throw any money at anyone. I need you to throw your heart at me, and I'll throw my heart back at you.
Okay.
And we all will make this happen. Please give me a chance. I'm one of you, and you are of me too.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for that time, Patches. Thanks for all the listeners. It's about time for everyone to make a stand for the better moving forward. Thanks be to God. Blessed is the man who considereth the poor. Bye for now.
Thanks a lot. You do. Wish you good luck in your political endeavors, my dear brother. Good night, Mr. Liburd reads this email. These people should release a math book. Methods in mathematical nonsense first, utterly confusing and scamish edition. Very interesting email. Patches, St. Kitts and Nevis boasts a 98% literacy rate, but unfortunately, it appears that that is the 2% running the country. We are not back in the days where you can come with a little academic learning and feel like you can talk to people like they're stupid, and then we say thanks. Let's go back to the lines at 9:31. Caller, you live.
Yeah, Mr. Patches, man, how you doing tonight, man?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good. Let me get straight to it, man. I'm happy to hear that voice of that, that young man over there in New York who's trying to take up the prime ministership in the next election cycle.
Okay.
Yo, man, I hope you get through that situation, man. Big up yourself and keep up your head, bro. Yeah, Patches, the debate today in the House, man. Can you point me to where monies were allocated? The budget, in the budget about money, and allocating to different departments, different ministries, or whatever. Can you point me to that? Did that happen today, or we got to tune back in again tomorrow?
No, well,
it's not over yet, right?
No, well, we have
more days to come.
Normally, on the first day, the Prime Minister or whoever is the Minister of Finance, who in fact is the Prime Minister, will give what they call the budget address. I have not seen the entire budget. I've seen excerpts from the revenue and expenditure. I think that's volume 2, is it? But I have not seen the breakdown. But that will come over the next couple of days for sure.
Okay. Don't jump the gun.
Yep.
And is it too soon for the people to hear about if they're going to be in the bonuses this year?
He would have mentioned that today. There's going to be no dividend, no double salary. There's going to be nothing. Nothing.
So when I heard him, when I heard fraud but no Marby, right? But when I hear him say, something is coming, listen to the wrap up. But I got distracted there at the end. So if there was nothing about a bonus or a double in the wrap up, those persons who's looking for that can kiss that goodbye, right?
Of course.
And just remember, man, I already told you this since last year. Remember, man, I'm on the money trail. The money cannot just be getting into certain people's hands. And that's what happened over 40 years with that CBI program. Now, they're conditioning the people to think that money is not important to them. The working class people. Money is only important to certain people in the Federation. Taking away certain monies from those social programs, some of those, single mothers that's raising 2 and 3 children. I wonder how they made out this year. In the last 2 years. But going forward, man, what I want to see happen is, last night I had a conversation with Sean Richards on Win FM. You know what he told me? Persons was served in the parliament with dual citizenship before him and Lindsey Grant got caught up in that scheme. And I don't know why that grant clause or that dual citizenship clause, whichever clause it is, I may not have a perfect handle on it yet, but whatever clause it is that's blocking certain citizens from coming home and putting their names on ballots to run for parliamentary positions, that need to be removed from the Constitution. It is not serving any purpose. Patches, it's like playing a game of cricket. You have a wicket keeper on your side, right? And I have a wicket keeper on my side, don't it?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so if Labour Party is concerned that Palm Party got some candidates that have dual citizenship or have a foreign passport, you know what they just got to do? They just have to go and recruit the same. They just got to go and recruit the same. and get candidates who have said dual citizenship as well. And the playing field is back to being level. So those clauses they got in the Constitution, they only got barriers around certain citizens. What I'm pushing for the new year, I want you to follow through with that promise. He said he's going to take the country, republic, state. I want him to try to follow through on that.
Okay.
Because when that is done, the Constitution definitely got to be changed. If that's the only way I'm going to get reform, constitutional and electoral reform, well, I want the country to go republic. And there's a debate as to who is the father of independence. And some people are saying it's the only living national hero. Some people are saying it was Bradford who brought up the idea. So if Dr. Jew, who's a labor man, give it up and say, well, okay, Simmons was the one that took us independence, well, he should be moving towards following through on that promise to take the country republic.
Okay.
And then they come back and boast after that Labor took the country republic.
Okay.
So in the new year, I want him to follow through on that. I want these clauses, brand clause and dual citizenship clause, I want those clauses tabled and debated, and I want them removed from the Constitution.
Okay. Good luck, my brother.
So let me just make one more point, and then I can get off. Please. So that persons in the diaspora, we are not going to be just voters. We want to also have the right to put our name on those ballots.
Okay.
All citizens have to enjoy all fruits of their citizenship.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, man. Have a good night.
Thanks a lot for your intervention. We go straight back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yes, greetings, patches.
Greetings, my brother.
Yeah, it's Rascalungi. Very interesting program, you know. I just like to say what Granny said. Yeah, before that, I just like to give a shout out, you know, to Brother Bugno, who have gone to meet the ancestors, you know what I'm saying? Was a good brethren of mine, so, you know, I just want to send condolences to his family, you know, that now he has gone to meet with the ancestors. But back to the program, what Granny said, it's time for us to unite. I'm not going to say that. The program tonight is very interesting because you played the tape with the MSR man and the former chief of police of the Virgin Islands. You heard what he said? He is telling us, basically, that he is interested in safeguarding the United States. That's what he's saying. The MSR man and the chief of police from St. Thomas is saying, basically, they're making videos, documentaries about how China, how the Caribbean leaders are selling the Caribbean to China, something to that effect. But it's an attack on China and it is an attack on Russia. You said earlier in the program that a lot of the between 2002 and I think 2015, a lot of Russians have bought our passport. Now the reason why the revenue in the CBI program have dropped, right, is because he said last year we rounding it out $700 million.
620 million.
Up to, huh?
The budget says the actual 620 million.
Yeah, but I'm rounding it off.
Okay, to 700.
Okay. Yeah. So I round it off to 700 million, right? Okay. And up to this year, we only made 300 million.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
218 is us.
Okay, good. So what I'm saying to you now, but the Prime Minister should tell the people why they dropping the rent because Russia invaded Ukraine. Sanctions was put on Russia, so we cannot send a passport to Russians, Belarusians, and before that I think was Iranians, Iraqis. Yeah, right? So a lot of those Arabs is buying our passport. So that is the drop in the revenue. Now, what I'm saying to you now, the United States buy oil, they put sanctions on Russia. and then the Western world had to follow them because we got to follow the lead because they're in control. And what I'm saying to you is that we have to tell the truth. The reason for the drop in the revenue is because Russia invaded Ukraine, so we can't send the passports to them. But we are not saying that. And no, we can send the passport to Russians, but America buying oil and Ukraine and uranium from Russia every day. You see, I mean, we got to tell the truth. These things are in the public domain, but we get so caught up in the pot calling the kettle black politics. That's why I call it. We keep attacking each other. You know what I'm saying? And we're missing the point, my brethren, because like I tell you, the geopolitical situation has changed. I think you should play the tape of Eric Prince. So our people will hear that these colonizers want to recolonize us and put us back on the plantation. I mean, the pot calling the kettle black politics is not relevant in these days. Because all of us in the same boat. You know, they're talking about corruption in the CBI, right? Hillary Clinton and her husband, all the money that was raised for Haiti in the earthquake, they took it. And nobody talking about that. You see, they're accusing us of being corrupt. But they are the ones who are the original corruptors.
Yep.
You know, go ahead.
No. I'm agreeing with you. I said, yep.
Yeah, but so what I'm saying, these things have to be pointed out because when our people here saying, no, well, who gonna go to jail? What gonna happen? The Rico case ain't finished now. As I was telling you before, because I listen to the whole thing now with Martinez. He said he's turning over all the information to the State Department, and when Trump comes in, he's gonna take up the case. He's an agent, the chief of police from the Virgin Islands. They're telling you they're dealing with the State Department. The meeting that he had with Gas and the Prime Minister, they take them. And what, I don't know if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that Martinez is inferring that the $40 to $100 million was brought up by Gas.
That is what the police officer, ex-police said.
Exactly. You see? But he was talking about the litigation in case they have to pay. Mm-hmm. You see? So what I'm trying to say, these people are playing us.
Okay.
And we don't understand. It's to put us back on the plantation. It's to make us more dependent on them, my brother. I don't want to take up much of your time, but what I'm saying, my fear that these Martinez is an agent. He talk about how we got arrested. When people got arrested in those situations, the United States government cut a deal with you and said, well, look, we like you to do such and such. Okay. He's an agent.
Okay, got you, my brother. Got you loud and clear.
You know? Okay, my brother. So what Granny said, it's time for us to unite in 2025.
Thank you very much for...
Okay, blessed love.
Blessed love, my brother. We go back to the lines and we say good night to this caller. You're live. Hello.
Greetings, Mr. Patches. Finally.
Hey, greetings, my brother.
How are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I'm very, very good. Listening to your tasty program, as usual. Humanity by nature is gifted to think freely, but in order that the free thought should lead him to the goal of liberty and independence, his way of thinking must be shaped by the process of education. Mr. Patches, I must tell you, the lady with the quotations, she does a fine job. And Bible Man, when the Bible Man anchored from years back, he continued doing a very, very good job.
Very true.
Mr. Patches, just a little go back before Michael wanted to input on your budget reasoning, which is very good. You base your reasoning tonight on this topic. Last program when you tap up mark pertaining to the curbing of the government using as vehicles was the right thing you did. You know, because that's how the Lord wants us to live. When we see something right, we support it. And another thing, when you also brought forth your own knowledge, and not just the knowledge, but Martinez said, even though he brings some knowledge that we wanted to hear, or we expect to hear, it was good from your end. You bring different, because, you know, he have an ego too. So it's good you pointed out that this is not from him. So that was good. And when I hear that, I said that's street man talk. And that is good. Mr. Patches, we hear a lot about the development bank. But the question I ask myself as a citizen, because before Unity administration took office, it was the former deputy of the Labour Party, Sam Kondo, who said to the whole world that the country is going down a dark road. So if the country was going down a dark road, then I ask the question, what was the state of the development bank? That's the question I ask myself. Another thing, Mr. Patches, you said tonight on the reason of the VAT reduction, you said the Unity administration reasoned over that bias already. And that's why when I heard a National Assembly going to convene, I said he's going to be very interested. Just before Martinez come with he reports, I said the budget speech is going to be interesting. So that's why I say I'm glad you continue this topic tonight. So with the VAT reduction reasoning amongst the Unity, it was in cabinet, Mr. Patches?
Of course, the cabinet had to approve it, and we had to had parliamentary authority as well to reduce the VAT. Remove the VAT on food and other items.
Right.
Funeral expenses and what's the other one? Supplies, school supplies, was it? Someone else, I'll get that before the program is done. Yeah.
No. I'm glad to hear that, because why I ask a question like that too, because you have past members of the Unity administration. Sometimes they reason as though there wasn't a part of a government and nothing happened, even though the Unity administration did so many things for the country. They will still talk as though there wasn't a part of the government. So that's why going forward with the budget debate, he can be very interested. And another thing too, Mr. Patches, when our Prime Minister talk about extortion, and when Martinez also talk about it, the question I ask myself first, why didn't the Prime Minister arrest the person? But then we hear different things now, laying out, analyzing what really took place. Mr. Patches, you continue to be good, and you continue to stay strong. God bless.
God bless you as well. Thank you for your intervention. And that quotation, as was made mention of, very early in the program, coming from that caller, I believe she is in fact from Nevis. The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speaks according to his actions. Patches, good night. Reads this email. I listened to the budget today and heard of a Ritz-Carlton hotel. Is it really Ritz, or Carlton will be smart too? This other email reads, if that caller can hold for me for just a few seconds, I'll try to get a dispense of this other email. Patches, I was told that this smart hospital is for people with money, and JNF is for people who are unable to pay. reads this other email. I've heard that as well, my Straight Dog family. But let's go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live.
Good evening again.
Yes, good evening, my dear.
Yes, again. What is that guy they were calling him, say, from Nevis? He really not like petition and individual. If he wants Dr. to come carry into our Republican, with all these lies, that man that tell us, he still want he to come carry we into Republican. Oh my God, something wrong somewhere. And two people who cannot spend money running this country, the snake and Dr. Pepper. You look like the snake grudge the people them up there in the cars and what's not. Every minute you're talking about 71 cars coming in. You look like it grudge the people them. But when they not drive round in a $300 vehicle, nobody has said nothing. But he just talking about the people in vehicles. He look like it grudge them and all. What's really going on with them there? Them they will come down from Nevis. She coming down tomorrow. What we expect? The same thing that Dr. Pepper is saying, lie, is the same thing. See? And the next tree behind him is coming to say, we ain't looking for nothing better because all of them is alike. But they were feather flock together. So we are looking for nothing from them, nothing better than what they will say. All of them is lawyer, and we ain't gonna get no truth and what's not.
Okay.
Yes, Patrice, you have a pleasant night. I finish with you now.
Thank you very much for your intervention. Yes, it's a very good point about the difficulties we are facing now and wanting July to take us into becoming a republic. What? Could you imagine that? As we wind down tonight's program, and I need to dispense of my emails, math examples in the utterly confusing edition, we will show how 8% minus 3% equals to x to the power of 2. In practical examples, we will also show how an individual can be said to be extorting the highest office in the land and not be arrested. Reads this email. This other email reads, good night, Patches, writing from Shadwell. The water situation as usual hasn't changed. Sunday last was preparing to do my laundry. I realized my washing machine was humming. On inspection, there was no water in the machine. That was about 9:30 or thereafter. Let's go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Call you live. Hello. Okay, we seem to have missed that caller. Let's see. Are you there, caller? Hello, caller? Okay, I think we have didn't disconnect that call. This other email reads, Patches, good night. That means 99% of the government workers will be on the PAP. What a shame. Anyway, that won't last for 6 months. He will find a way to stop it. You needs to go, reads this email. Dear Patches, let me stray away from the topic because I wanted to bring this to everyone's attention. I am appalled that the Carnival Committee is really ripping off people, because I cannot believe that the committee has done such a scam. The Queen pageant was divided into two pageants, and this is a rip-off and a scam. The swimsuit segment was separated from the general show. So you had to pay $50 for the swimsuit, and then you have to pay $60 for the talent and gown section. This is a rip-off. This was stopped when the new Queen pageant chairman said not such. How foolish. They have changed up the show and bring forward the shows, so persons coming forward for the pageants would not see them. They would only witness the Calypso show, and when I asked why, they said that some persons on the committee are running bar, and they said that they need to make money, so they just change up the entire program. Patches, this is a shame. People boycott the pageant on Tuesday, December 17th, and the pageant on December 19th. Listen to me. Read this other email, and let's go to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Okay, let's see. I inadvertently disconnected the caller. I'm so sorry, caller. Please, I'll try to get back in. We have a few minutes remaining on the program. I'll dispense of the emails and perhaps take about 2 more calls. Prime Minister Jew is a liar of epic proportions. I cannot believe he now has the audacity to be claiming responsibility for the St. Kitts Ritz-Carlton Resort on the Southeast Peninsula. This project and its developer, Mr. William Bill Anderson, came to the Federation during Team Unity's term in office. Asked Mr. Lindsey Grant. He secured the investment for the Federation when he was Minister of Tourism. The project was scheduled to start construction in October 2022, and the infrastructure, the hotel, the villas, and the residences were to be completed by September 2024. When Lion Jew came to office in August 2022, this same Ritz-Carlton was one of the projects that he intentionally stalled. He now needs the investment, so he's trying to claim it as a project he brought to St. Kitts. Jew is a liar of epic proportions. Yes, I remember that Ritz-Carlton during our time, yes, and they actually paid some of the vendors over there on Friars Bay to be relocated to Frigate Bay and elsewhere. Good night, Dr. Patches. I'm not on Facebook, someone is saying here. Well, I'm not aware of that. Let's just switch to YouTube then. I'm sorry about that. I did not hear anything on the budget speech about the Nevis fair share. Reads this email. Or even an increase on the $5 million that Harris gave monthly to Nevis. And remember that Brantley, in an exclusive interview with King This and That, said he was getting fed up with the Prime Minister every time he just putting off the discussion report that he received from the World Bank. And he, Brantley, was going to have a very serious talk with the Prime Minister, for it is overbearing now. Well, Mr. Brantley, I will listen quite attentively to your response to the budget and see if you really have the guts to talk about the fair share report from the World Bank. Read this email. Let's go to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yes, Patrick.
Yes,
Patrick.
Yes, my lord.
Mr. Concern, I want to thank Kalunji for straightening out the issue where some of us couldn't see. He is so right, because those big boys who were buying our passport, really, it's because they stop now. That is why the CBI slide down the drain. And if we name blow, you never see foul bottom. Sorry, and dog only know how small the bottom is when he eat bone. Now this man here come and say he gonna get back 6 months back. What thing happened to the country? A lot of business places gonna shut down because what? They gonna can't keep up that day. Wait about 6 months back. So therefore a lot of employees gonna get lay off. When you got things on your shelf to sell and you see them got on cobweb, that means they're selling. So people who just go to restaurant, regular customers, they can't go because what? They ain't gonna have money to keep up the business. And them must stop fool people, but I'm going now patches. I want to tell everybody who in St. Kitts and Nevis who can vote, do not vote for Joe and he followers. Joe intention is to mash up the country and starve everybody because he know what he was before he reached in there as minister. And that is what he doing. Why he don't talk about the 33% what he take? What they hiding that for? He talking about everything else anyway. Talk about the 33% what he take. Deprive the country of the money. And you come talking foolish about this anyway, that anyway. And the email is right. From the time I hear he talk about smart hospital, I say, I know that private hospital, they're going to be more expensive for who got money. And anybody you see, just take their crazy pills. And every minute you rub in the nose, is the white lady, the harlot in the nose. Good night, Patches. Have a good night till Thursday. God bless you.
Have a good night as well. My dear brother, let's go back to the lines and perhaps make this my final call for the night. Call you live. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller? Hello, caller for the... Yes, you're live. I am peaceful. You just woke up. You just woke up. Sound like a major.
Yeah.
You're still sleeping.
Well, when you work hard, you got to sleep when you get the chance, Because I just got that. That's why I haven't make this story here to you, because I just here laying down and then I got to hear. So I will share this joke with you. Listen to it, eh?
Uh-huh.
If you I want to hear, if you offer a seat on a rocket ship, don't ask where you must sit. You understand? So you know how the thing is. Everybody asks, so they tell you, well, don't ask the question then. Once again, you as I ride on the ship, don't ask them and sit.
Okay.
You understand that?
Okay, my brother. Got you loud and clear.
Yeah. Because you see people figure that you're asking certain questions and so on.
Uh-huh.
All right. I mean, everybody don't like free things. Most people in this part of the world, they become mendicants. They become beggars. And because a beggar, you could tell me what to do. That can happen in this thing here. Once you offered me a ride, I can ask you to sit down. You got to be crazy. I mean, me have a mind. I mean, one day.
Thank you.
You're going to do that. That is how it is in a month. That is how it is in Patches.
Yes.
If I ever give you something, he wants to tell you how you have to sit down.
Okay, my
in this day and age, huh? Come on. I don't think you don't want that happen to you because you're supposed to be a new young man. And we are for all wise men. You know where all wise men come from? They come from the east.
Yes.
Isn't it?
You're correct, my dear brother and Major. Thanks. Thanks a lot for your intervention tonight. And that's the way we're going to end with our calls. And for those of you who may have joined me late, I titled my thesis tonight, All Mouth and No Trousers. And in the introduction, I raised the point that I listened to the budget address in Parliament today. And after several hours of political diatribe from the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, I concluded, just like many of you did, that Terence Michael July did not understand that the budget serves several key purposes, all of which are essential to the functioning of a democratic government. He doesn't understand that the budget session is a critical period during which the government presents its fiscal plans for the coming year, and the parliament would then review, debate, and is expected to approve these plans. But it was frustrating to hear him politicking about development bank and all sorts of nonsense not relevant to the plans. In a long-winded, empty address that was laced with politics, and at the end, the common reaction from all was it seemed more like a budget scam than a legitimate presentation. It was a scam when he said there will be more in your pockets. Whose pockets, my Straight Dog family? It cannot be in our pockets as he outlined here. I think they meant to say more in our pockets, meaning their pockets, because it was a big scam to exclude the 34% which they gave unto themselves as a salary increase. Not based on performance, my Straight Dog family, not at all. He spoke to a VAT-free holiday for 6 months. And many of you said, who will that benefit? The people want food. They want the prices reduced on the cost of food. But there's no VAT on food. Team Unity did that so many years ago. But my Straight Dog family, listen to the budget. It was frustrating. But there was what I call a lack of connection to real life impact. The budget does not reflect the needs or priorities of the country and the people, as it seems feels disconnected from tangible outcomes and came across as being disingenuous, my Straight Dog family. How can you take away $500 from poor people, for example, and come back like sobers in the second test and give them some $250 for 6 months? What a big budget scam, my Straight Dog family, on poor people. Revenue projected, my Straight Dog family, will decline in 2025 next year. It's already on the decline right now, my Straight Dog family. Projections are lower, especially for the main revenue generator, the citizenship by investment. And remember what July said about the CBI revenue in 2024. But like accountants, he drives the car in the rearview mirror. And that's how it happens. So we won't see 2024 figures until next year, December 2025. And sadly, that's how the budget works. But there's a $238 million deficit for 2024. He likes to talk about deficit. Now he gets his own deficit, my Straight Dog family. $238 million. And a further deficit is anticipated for 2025. And nothing in his address told us about these wonderful plans for diversification, despite the reduction in CBI revenue. But Terence Michael July's presentation today provided a typical example of politics where the idiom, the emperor has no clothes, would apply. Another example of the naked emperor is simply a look at Terence Michael July's 2 years in office. I'll leave it at that. That will tell you what it is. There's an old saying, and a considerable number of people feel like this about Prime Minister July. And the saying goes, all mouth and no trousers. The emperor, in this case, retains his jacket and a shirt. No trousers, in a jacket and a shirt. No double salary, no dividend, nothing but an empty budget. And it's easy to blame or to lay blame squarely where it belongs. And Chocolate told us this.
Watch here, somebody send me your number there. Here, cause people, you think people want to hear about well and people. We want to hear about the money, but we want to hear about this and that thing about that. We want to go in for Christmas. If you go buy ham and turkey and put ornament and with tree. Anybody care about well? What well you come tell us about? You don't care people salt water. Burn people are you. Very disrespectful. Never is the problem.
The big problem. Soon we will get some sort of water that may poison us from this desalination plant. I'm frightened, quite frankly, as a resident in East Bastia. But the Prime Minister is like the emperor without clothes, and his lies continue to expose him, especially in the latest CBI scam, when he told us about the extortion attempt in his office. And it was said that it was erroneous, a lie, my Street Talk family.
The people who are listening would know that the government of St. Kitts are not the only individuals that I've spoken to.
Yeah.
And I was very surprised and very dismayed when I heard when the Prime Minister of St. Kitts made a statement in a press conference and said that an individual who was in one of the photos in the podcast that went up before,
which is you,
came into his office and demanded from them that they would, in order for this to go away, that they must pay $40 to $100 million. And the content of the presentation was erroneous. In no way, form, or fashion did that conversation take place in a manner that the Prime Minister presented it. Yeah. But I enlightened the people for them so they know how it really went.
And I'm a Street Talk family. My Street Talk family. We said before on this platform that extortion is a crime. So why didn't he arrest the man in the video, Mr. Benta, who has in fact come forward and offered himself up?
Extortion is a crime, period.
Yeah, of course.
But for the application through what is being insinuated, and to date, so you know, I've reached out to the Attorney General's office for them to prepare the arrest documents, and I advise that I will make myself present for those charges as they have so deemed within what they allege. I'm ready to face the music and let them bring what they have and say that this is what happened. But I'm very disappointed.
Very disappointed, yeah.
And we only have in this podcast, Mr. Felipe, so people know, because the Prime Minister of the country made an allegation towards what the meeting premises were, totally out of character and out of context.
I must make one comment, though, that Mr. Benta is not au fait with how it works, because he mentioned in this podcast as well that the Homeland Security would help. But in fact, as I know it, the CIU already collaborate with Homeland Security and the U.S. And I think it's the GRCC or GRSC, that's the regional body, security body. But caller, I can only give you 30 seconds, if so much. Can you use it?
Thank you. Maybe less. Thank you.
Thank you.
Patches, I'm going to jump straight to the commentary that Andrew was made. And I am agreeing with his theory. And this is what I might add in short order. Philip Martinez, yes, he got into whatever runnings in his life. But I believe somewhere he was chosen to work this RICO case in, it might seem to be, enter Barbados and Barbados reject and enter into St. Kitts. Probably he was after St. Lucia too, but he happened to get into St. Kitts and Nevis through Nevis, Mark Brantley, and proceed in the undercover of trying to find out what's going on.
Yeah, but make a point. Make a point quickly. I need to wrap up here.
Thing is, I believe in everything that Philip Martin has played. he was an agent for the U.S. government. And up until the last moment when Dr. Jost claimed that he was demanding $40 to $100 million, I think that was all out to the play and see how they would have played it out. But the case is not over. Everything has turned over to the State Department. So moving forward from there, we will be hearing for another saga. Thank you.
Well, that's only speculation, but let's see what happens in the future. Good night, Mr. Liburd. The snake is a joker. Government vehicles are like private vehicles. Now, the only difference is they start with a G. Why the vehicle he drives don't have a G plate? Persons have landscaping business using government pickups. All he has to instruct persons to park government vehicles at 4 p.m. instead of spending money on trackers. And don't expect anything from him in the budget. He need help from July. That's why he asks Big Belly Fraudster to drop the case. Reads this final email. And as I wrap, finally, my Straight Dog family, is the issue of the Attorney General, Garth Lucifer Wilkin. In all this issue about extortion, we learned that he asks. What was his ask? And this was reported by Straight Dog family.
So that we were clear for those that are listening, this conversation is pretty much surrounding what the government of St. Kitts and Nevis came public and mentioned. Besides, but I think more so that the Prime Minister and his Attorney General, where the number discussion actually was preempted by the Attorney General of St. Kitts and Nevis, Garth Wilkins.
That's interesting.
Garth Wilkins, while speaking to the Prime Minister and other matters, Garth Wilkins in the meeting started on more than one occasion prompting and asking, based on what's been filed in the courts by MSR and within the U.S. Department of Justice, America-wise, what is the ask? My response to him, what is the ask? And I said to him, enumeration as far as what he was trying to explain, I said, based on what I have read, more so, this is what it may be in a litigation of any sort. What's the fix? What would be? It would be this.
Yeah.
And with that, did the Prime Minister himself begin to invoke in his own mind what he wanted to input, forgetting about that the purpose of me being there was to bring the government of St. Kitts and Nevis together with the representative of MSR who was waiting somewhere else for a call for them.
At the lawyer office.
And yes, my Straight Dog family, very interesting. I will hear much more about that. Because remember as well, my Straight Dog family, that Attorney General Garth Lucifer Wilkin did put forward an application to the court to strike out the judicial review that's also before the court. So ask yourselves, Garth Lucifer Wilkin again? Another scam? Well, my Straight Dog family, one thing I needed to add before I wrap as well is the fact that we ought to get full transparency, and at least we ought to know where all these economic citizens come from. We don't need to know their names. We need to know their country of origin. And that's all we have to publish. In other jurisdictions, their names are published.
You have countries, typically immigration countries, that even publish their names on the internet. Yeah, like if you become a citizen of New Zealand, for example, this is a public matter. Worldwide, you have about half the countries that publish and the other half that don't.
So we need, I suggest, to publish the countries from whence or from where these economic citizens come from. That's for a further discussion. But the scam that is our focus tonight was a budget presentation. A lot was said during the presentation, but there was little practical or actionable content. The promises made were not backed up by real plans or concrete steps. It was essentially heavy on rhetoric. 2025 this will come, 2025 that will come. But it was light on reality. Meaningful details or on implementation never came forward. It was all talk and no action. And as the British would say, all mouth and no trousers. And that's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. I want to thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight. As always, I want to thank you, the many viewers, many listeners, those of you who sent emails, those of you who called. Just remember, you are the ones who make Straight Talk, and for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. I am Ian Patches Liburd, and God's Spirit, we will connect on Thursday for another edition of Straight Talk. Until then, be good to yourselves and to all whom you meet. And remember that whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, you got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Thursday.
The morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food and loving care, and for my mother's breath of life that's got me here. So whatever my mind conceives, that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now, I'll keep moving on, till I reach the top somehow, down on my knees. The Lord I kneel and pray, with my heart and soul, beg Him to take me through each day, my guardian to keep.